What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video, and today, it is time we discuss the Georgia Senate and gubernatorial races right now. That is right, folks. Today we'll be discussing the Senate and governor's race currently happening in Georgia. And let's get this off right off the bat. It appears a big red wave is coming towards the state of Georgia. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. That's right, folks, for just 10 cents a day, you could join Real American Politics, only 10 cents a day. That's a phenomenal deal as it helps support the daily content. That's right, folks. You support the daily content by joining the channel today, just for 10 cents a day. And if you really wanted to, for $5 a month, you could join the channel and get a shout out at the end of each video. So I recommend you join today. Alright, folks, let's get into it. Like I said in the intro, it appears Republicans are on pace to sweep the state of Georgia. Tremendous amounts of margin-wise. It appears it's going to not be close. Now, the Senate race, of course, will probably be a bit closer than the governor's race. So let's start actually with what I think to be a quite simple race. The Georgia governor's race. Brian Kemp's going to win. You know, I've had some problems with Kemp in the past, but he got better as time went on. Yes, I have some problems with him, but still he's significantly better than the alternative of Stacey Abrams, the walrus, we call her on this channel. And it appears Kemp's going to win this race fairly easily, probably by like 10 points. I mean, Remington just came out with a new poll, Kemp plus 14, Emerson, Kemp plus 6, Kemp plus 7, Insider Advantage is a big one, Kemp plus 9, Rasmussen, Kemp plus 10. Even New York Times has a Kemp plus 5. As you could tell, this race is pretty much over. There's really no way Abrams could get within like 5 points. The very best she could do is lose by like 4.5, maybe. But in this environment, that may be off the table. She'll be lucky to get within 6 points, let alone within 5. So it's getting much harder for Abrams to not lose by so much, but this entire campaign's been a disaster for her. Really started with that one photo op with all those kids wearing masks, but she wasn't. It's like, okay, what's wrong with you? But outside of that, this is quite clear how this race is going to go. Kemp's going to win fairly easily. Now, this is the thing about Georgia. They're not that heavy of a ticket-splitting state. They just aren't. Like, there, of course, is some ticket splitting, but compared to other states, not really. Look at the Senate race in 2021, this runoffs. They really were basically the same, off by a point, maybe. Look at the presidential race for the Senate race, maybe off by, like, a couple points. It's not that big of a ticket split of a state compared to others, like Pennsylvania, a little bit of Wisconsin, but you get the point. And that's why I think you're going to see some crossover with Walker. Now, currently, according to the RCP aggregate, he is up by 0.3. Now, Survey USA just came out with his BS poll. I can flat out say, that's BS. Bullshit, whatever. If this was 2 months ago, fine. You could make the argument, maybe a month ago, that, oh, Walker had a lot of scandals, a lot of people were not favorable of him at that time. But to come up with it now at Warnock plus 6, bunch of BS. And it's Survey USA. You can pretty much throw it out the window. Every other poll has Walker by 4. Emerson has a Warnock plus 2, but within the margin of error. Walker plus 1, margin of error. Walker plus 3, Walker plus 5, Warnock plus 3, but again, New York Times. Are we going to trust New York Times? Again, it's not because Warnock is losing. It's a crappy pollster that has a history of crappy polls. And while Georgia's not that bad of a polling state compared to, like, Wisconsin, it's still, there can be some doozies. Remember, both the Republicans will lose by 8 points in the runoff. Yeah, they both lost by, like, 1.5 points. So it's a bunch of BS when it comes to some of these polls, but the good pollsters, Insider Advantage, Rasmussen can be good. Emerson even, they have it either within the margin of error or Walker up by a couple points. So here's the thing though. These undecideds, they're voting for Kemp. All right, and they don't like the job of Joe Biden, and they're a more Republican favorable demographic. How do you think they're going to vote? Do you really think they're going to break for Warnock? No. It's not going to happen. Warnock is not going to carry these undecideds by a ridiculous margin. He's just not. The remaining undecideds, they're already voting for Kemp. A lot of them said they would vote for Trump in 24, and they disapprove the job of Joe Biden, and they think America's on the wrong track by a significant amount. They're not just going to go around and vote for Warnock. Sure, some of them will, but the majority of them are going to break for Walker. So these polls that have Warnock up by 6, yeah, no, that's not going to hold up well. It's going to age poorly. But again, it is just one poll. You could definitely say it's more of an outlier. It just why? Survey USA, can you just stop? Your polls this cycle in 2020 also were pretty bad, but this cycle, there's been some doozies. I mean, you had in 1 week or something like that, they had like a race shift like 15 points Republican. It's like, shifts like that don't happen in a week. They just don't. So Survey USA has a pretty bad record. Not as bad as New York Times, but they're still not that good of a pollster. Now, here's the thing, though. There is one caveat we have to discuss. Early voting. Now, here's the thing about early voting. You can't take everything like 100% like this is exactly going to happen, but you can look at snippets of data to see, okay, how is the electorate looking for early voting? And we know early voting is supposed to be the most Democrat part of the country, or most Democrat voting bloc. They're supposed to vote like 80% Democrat. Well, these demographics, they really don't indicate that, oh, it's going to be a blue wave in Georgia. For one, 29% of early votes is from black voters. Yes, Georgia had a 29% black electorate in 2020. But again, this is of early votes. These are supposed to be the most Democrat-favorable part of the electorate. So this should be much more than just 29% black. It should be closer to 31, 32%. And I know there's some data points to say that, black voters, they still vote on election day somewhat. It's true, but it's kind of just up in the air of like, okay, do they vote mostly by mail or do they vote election day? Mostly by mail and early. But again, there's some black voters that still vote election day. They're still going to vote like 80-20 Democrat at the bare minimum. But you get the point. This electorate's not that Democrat favorable. You look by age. 38% is 65 plus. 32.6% is 50 to 64. It's not young. It's not a minority-heavy electorate. And you go to who's actually voting, and 20% of early voters did not vote in the 2018 general election. 20%. In 2018 when Brian Kemp nearly lost? I wonder who are these people that are going to vote? I wonder if these are, Democrat voters. I doubt it. And day of voters, 22% of early voters voted on election day in 2020 or 2018. So those would probably be a lot of Democrats that they're scared of everything at this point. But you just keep looking and you realize, yeah, it's not looking too good. And you look at where the early votes are coming from percentage-wise. It's coming from more Republican counties now. Raw votes-wise, yes, Fulton, DeKalb, Cobb, etc. They're having huge turnout, or percentage-wise, or raw votes-wise, they're having pretty good turnout. But percent of 2018, the biggest amounts are coming from Republican parts of the state. I mean, look at Cherokee. This is a big county. There's a lot of votes here. And, well, look how Republican it is. It's not a Democrat part of the state. It's fairly Republican. It's right here. it had 68% for Trump. And the enthusiasm in this county is extreme compared to the Atlanta metro. So how do you think these voters are going to break? Yes, they're going to be more Democrat, but it's not going to be 90-10 like it would be in like Fulton. It'll probably be like 50-50 considering this is Cherokee County. But that's not a good sign for Democrats. If even early votes, percentage-wise, they're coming from more Republican parts of the state, you're not in good shape. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.